too many people go to a doctor, and it would be nice to know that the doctors who are still practicing are doing a good job.
And you do trust your doctor to take care of you, but if they fail to do their duty, it's up to the state medical board to discipline, penalize, or punish.
But according to a new report, this one, in fact, some states are more strict than others. South Carolina, according to this report, is not doing a good job. I talked with a Low Country attorney about how this could put patients at risk and to a group calling for a more independent review. It's a Working For You investigation you'll only see on ABC News 4.
South Carolina never ranked very well.
A harsh reality from Dr. Sidney Wolf, the founder and senior advisor of Public Citizens Health Research Group. The group ranked every state and Washington, D.C. by the doctor disciplinary rates by each state's medical board. South Carolina ranked 32nd in the most recent report.
Based on the average size of a doctor's practice, we're talking about maybe 9,000 or 10,000 patients somewhere in South Carolina who are going to some doctor or other who would have been taken out of practice permanently, if temporarily, if not permanently, if they were in a state with a better disciplinary record.
Low Country attorney David Ayler was surprised when we told him about the ranking.
It is somewhat alarming to think that out of 51 or 50 states in one federal territory, that we're at 32 in regards to any actually serious discipline. At the end of the day, there's nothing more important than your health.
South Carolina's state medical board has 13 members, 10 physicians, and 3 at-large public members. Dr. Wolf says in some situations, boards with majority physician members may be lenient when it comes to handing out punishments.
I think many doctor members on the board are the same, but many doctors on the board are there to say, I did something like this, I never got caught, and why should I be disciplining someone or voting to discipline someone who did the same thing I did?
You really want that outside opinion. What citizens want to protect themselves with is not being involved in a situation where it's sort of the old boys club and it's just the professionals looking out for each other, as opposed to people having true subjective opinions to what occurred or potentially occurred.
The state medical board handed down 37 discipline orders in 2019. That dropped to 20 in 2020, 34 in 2021, and 9 so far this year. Dr. Wolf and Ayler agree more public members on the board could help hold physicians accountable.
You've got to leave the doctoring part to the doctors, but when it comes to the disciplinary side of things, I think it would bring a lot more light and make a lot more citizens more comfortable with having individuals who are not related directly in that field.
You need public people representing the interests of patients.
State legislators nominate and appoint members to the medical board. We were not allowed to interview anyone on that board. Instead, we received a statement saying in part, quote, "The board would certainly welcome more lay participation, but it has no control over the nomination process for lay members," end quote.
The state legislatures do a terrible job overseeing this most important public health law in a state.
We asked 3 Low Country senators on the nominating committee for an interview to get their take on adding more public members to the board. Senator Marlin Kimpson declined to go on camera. Senator Margie Bright Matthews declined to go on camera. Senator Sandy Senn sent a statement saying, quote, "I don't think that's disproportionate at all. If there is something immoral that is accused, that's when lay people can come in, but often the allegations require medical training to understand whether there was malfeasance or misconduct. I really don't think that's a disproportionate number, even though usually I am much in favor of adding lay people to boards," end quote.
There's a long way to go in South Carolina, and if you are a patient in South Carolina, you should be concerned that you may be, most doctors, again, are practicing good medicine, but it does not take too many doctors who are not practicing good medicine but not disciplined to cause a lot of damage.
I asked the state medical board for their reaction to the rankings. They said in a statement, quote, "The South Carolina Board of Medical Examiners takes its mission of protecting the public very seriously. It is very difficult to know what rankings really mean. Our board, based on its legislative mandate, is a complaint-driven board. We vigorously vet any complaint through a system clearly defined in and prescribed by the Medical Practice Act. It is important to note that there is no way to compare medical boards and the actions they take because they are not the same. Among other things, the laws and the levels of discipline are not the same," end quote.
And we checked the state medical board website, and the 3 public member positions are still vacant. To read their full statement from them, go to our website, abcnews4.com. And thank you for joining us. First on ABC News 4 at 7. The first day of early voting for runoff elections is now over. On the ticket, current South Carolina Representative Democrat Krystle Matthews and Catherine Fleming Bruce for U.S. Senate. Our Tara Jabor spoke to both candidates today. Tara?
Tessa, early voting will go until Thursday, but next Tuesday is election day for the runoff elections. Both candidates I spoke with today say it's time for Senator Tim Scott to go. South Carolina Representative Krystle Matthews is up against Catherine Fleming Bruce for the U.S. Senate Democratic race. Representative Matthews says she knows how to win a tough race.
I flipped a seat in 2018 from a Republican incumbent that held it for 8 years prior, and I only raised $720.
Catherine Fleming Bruce is not a politician, and she says that's a good thing because it makes her different.
I am an entrepreneur, an author. I've written a book on civil rights historical sites that won a national award.
Fleming Bruce says she has a unique perspective.
I had the opportunity to participate in United Nations summits and to study international organizations and their role in, bringing peace and global stability.
When it comes to issues important to the candidates, Representative Matthews is focused on education.
When we talk about our students and the quality of public education, we are talking about global competitiveness. And right now, we're not very competitive.
Bruce Fleming says one of her priorities is women's rights.
Roe v. Wade is going to be important because if women don't have self-determination, we're not going to be part of the workplace. We're not going to be able to engage in society.
Both women say working with the other party is necessary to be successful in the Senate.
It's okay to disagree, but I think there's always a compromise that can be made when two cooler heads prevail and people are really focused on the needs of those that they're helping and not the needs of themselves.
Fleming Bruce says working with the other party will help get necessary bills passed.
To pass those laws that have been stopped by the Senate currently. So those include voting rights bills, gun reform legislation, women's rights.
An election day is on Tuesday. The winner will face current Senator Tim Scott in November.